stadium. Once that PA system goes dead, Ben, it goes deathly quiet here. So yeah, just to let you know, we've got teams, so probably no stab for us. All right, mate.
Gentlemen, once again, welcome to the beat for this afternoon's game against Blackpool. Going through the lineups, starting with Blackpool in goal and number 21, Elliot Parish. 4, David Perkins. 6, Peter Clark. 9, Steve Davis. 11, Andrea Orlandi. 17, Ishmael Miller. 25, David Ferguson. 29, Tony McMahon. 31, Jamie O'Hara. Welcoming back, number 37, Ryan Roseworthy. And number 48, Darren O'Gay. The substitutes for this afternoon. Number 1, in goal, Joe Lewis. 3, Niall Mayer. 14, Nathan Delfonso. 18, Charles Dunn. 20, Connor Oliver.
And it's a very good afternoon from Vicarage Road. A bright, sunny but bitterly cold afternoon in southwest Hertfordshire. A very important afternoon for the Hornets. Can they follow up last weekend's 5-0 drubbing of Charlton with another victory here over bottom of the table Blackpool and cut the gap at the top of the table to 4 points ahead of Friday night's clash with league leaders Bournemouth? Slaviša Kanovic makes just the one change this afternoon to that team that won last weekend. That's enforced as Gianni Minari hasn't recovered fully from his hamstring problem that forced him off last weekend. He's replaced by Mattia Vidra, so that suggests a slight tweak of formation. Watford line up then with Aurelio Gomez in goal, a back three of Craig Cathcart, who comes up against the side he left in the summer, Gabriel Angela and Tommy Hoban. In midfield, Juan Carlos Paredes, Miguel Layun, Daniel Turgi, who has been suffering through illness in the last 24 hours, but he is deemed fit enough to start, and Ikechi Anya. Mattia Vidra, we think, will play just behind Troy Deeney and Odion Igalo, who has 4 goals in his last 3 league appearances. On the bench for the Hornets, Jonathan Bond, Gianni Minari, Lloyd Doyley, Daniel Pudil, Bernard Mensah, and 2 new signings confirmed yesterday: Serbian defender Vujadin Savic and former Wigan midfielder Ben Watson. For Blackpool, they replaced regular keeper Joe Lewis with Elliot Parish for just his 2nd appearance this season. A back 4 of the captain Tony McMahon, Peter Clark, the former Huddersfield man, former Watford defender Nyron Nosworthy, Darren O'Day. In midfield, David Ferguson, a 20-year-old, makes his debut. Jamie O'Hara, David Perkins and Andrea Orlandi, with Stephen Davis and Ishmael Miller up front. On the bench for the Tangerines, Joe Lewis is a sub-keeper, Niall Mayer, Nathan Delfonso, Charles Dunn, Connor Oliver, Henry Cameron and Islam Farouz. Before we go to Derek Payne alongside me, the 2 teams are lining up and around the centre circle as Watford Football Club pays tribute to one of its former managers who sadly passed away this week, Ken Furphy, who led Watford to promotion in their first ever FA Cup semi-final. Vicarage Road rises for a minute's applause. Tribute there to former Watford manager Ken Furphy, who sadly passed away this week. His face adorned the big screen. It's on the front of the matchday programme this afternoon under the title Ken Furphy, History Maker. this current Watford squad are looking to make their own little bit of history this season, and Derek Payne, the former Watford midfielder, is alongside me as always. We've already stressed, Derek, this is a very important afternoon for the Hornets.
Yeah, afternoon, John. Yes, very important to keep the momentum going from last Saturday. Full performance last Saturday, plenty of goals, the 2 strikers scoring goals, so I'm sure Watford will want to keep that momentum going today and get a victory here.
Well, the 2 words, banana skin, potential.
Absolutely, definitely, but Watford mentality's got to be right here today from Watford. They've got to go at this game exactly how they went at the game last Saturday, with tempo.
That's how they started last weekend, and we are underway with Watford attacking the Vicarage Road end in the first half. This week, in their yellow shirts, black shorts and yellow socks, wearing black armbands in memory of Ken Furphy. And here's Akechi Anya down the left-hand side, but not quite on the same wavelength as Matija Vidra, and his ball goes out of play for a Blackpool goal kick away to our left-hand side. Blackpool in their change strip of all white shirts, white shorts and white socks, but with an orange band from left shoulder down to right hip. It is the same kit they wore here last season when they were beaten by 4-0, albeit that's their only defeat here in their last 6 visits to Vicarage Road.
Yeah, just looking at the lineups, just quickly looked at their Blackpool are doing a similar system to Watford. Perkins or Landy has gone in the hole for them, so 2 systems matching each other here today.
And here's Ishmael Miller, restored to the starting lineup this week, and caused Watford a few problems last season when he was at Yeovil. Of course, Yeovil got 2 very good results against the Hornets despite being relegated. Watford have won at Blackpool this season, courtesy of a Matija Vidra penalty. The Tangerines, who are the only team in the Championship without an away win, looking to bloody some noses this afternoon. They have an early free kick here, which Jamie O'Hara, frozen out at Wolves, of course, finally moved on by Kenny Jackett. Had himself at Blackpool. Swings an in-swinger in towards the penalty spot, punched away by Gomez, nodded back into the box by Orlandi, and flicks off Hoban, and Terja can't prevent the corner.
Yeah, well, Watford have to be aware of that today, not giving away too many silly free kicks. Jamie O'Hara has got good delivery, and that was a good delivery into the box from him. He will put good set pieces in.
A couple of minutes played, 0-0 at Vicarage Road. First corner of the afternoon is on this near side, in front of the southwest corner, down to my right, but there was a little coming together when that ball was played in by O'Hara, and Aurelio Gomez is just holding his face, nothing untoward. It's just a clash of heads, I think, with Gomez and Peter Clark, who was holding the back of his head. Referee, who's Fred Graham from Essex, just checking that Aurelio Gomez is okay. He's back on his feet now, and O'Hara can now deliver this corner for Lee Clark's side. It's going to be a left-footed delivery once again. Another in-swinger, and Gomez is knocked out the way. Terja headed it away. Referee spotted the shove on Aurelio Gomez, and Watford have a free kick inside their own 6-yard box.
Yeah, Watford have got to be careful of set pieces. Blackpool will be looking at set pieces. That will be their main target of trying to score goals here today, trying to get things from dead ball situations.
Plenty of height in this Blackpool team as well.
Absolutely, you know, the 3 at the back are big lads. Nyron Noseworthy, Peter Clark, so Tony McMahon. They got height, but obviously that'll be their way of trying to score here today. Set pieces, corners, free kicks.
Here's Angela heading a long ball forward towards Dean. He's headed away by Nosworthy. Vidra picks up the loose ball, but his header is volleyed away by O'Hara. Here's Hoban, turns back towards his own goal and fires it back towards Gomez, who has to head it away to prevent a corner. He didn't really look there, Tommy Hoban, and got away with it because Stephen Davis was closing down on Gomez as well.
Yeah, poor back pass from Tommy Hoban. He didn't look before he played the pass.
He's Orlandi, and now O'Hara just evades Vidra, comes back onto his left foot, another in-swinging cross, which Davis goes towards. Gomez makes a good catch on the back of Stephen Davis, and wants to roll it out to Cathcart. He wasn't really looking, but here is Craig Cathcart now. Clips the ball into the centre circle. Here's Vidra taking it down his chest, working it back into his own half, and he's giving it away to Davis, and the flag goes up, but he couldn't be offside. The referee quite rightly plays on. Vidra tries to win it back. The ball rebounds to Perkins, works it out to this right-hand side, and McMahon. Infield to Nyron Nosworthy, as you quite rightly pointed out, Derek, one of 3 centre-halves for Blackpool this afternoon. O'Day and Clark in the middle. Here is Peter Clark, driving a long ball forward towards Ishmael Miller, who holds off Hoban. Hoban pokes it away, and here's Miguel Layun taking the ball down in his chest and looking to release Dean, who just went too early, and he would have been clear, but the offside flag goes up correctly, and Blackpool have a free kick 10 yards short of the halfway line.
Well, both teams are playing the same system. We said it's a 3-4-1-2, so Blackpool have looked at Watford and they've matched up with them. They're going to try and cancel them out, not give Watford much space by playing the same system as Watford.
Osworthy clips the free kick forward, again looking for Miller, just touched it down for Andrea Orlandi. Elegant player, turns onto his left foot. Now Miller in a little bit of space on the edge of the box. Angela comes out to meet him, he gets the shot away, drags it 6 yards wide, but Ishmael Miller causing a few problems for the Hornets early on here. 0-0 with 5 minutes played, but Blackpool have made a positive start, Derek Payne.
Well, Watford haven't started well, that must be said, and this should wake them up. Blackpool have started well. Blackpool started on the front foot. Miller is always a danger when he plays against Watford, and he got round Angela too easy.
Well, Gomez's clearance never reached halfway, but Igalo and Vidra made something of it, and then Vidra is bundled over by Ferguson over on the far side, and Watford have a free kick midway inside the Blackpool half, right on the right-hand touchline. Sorry, that's just very similar to last weekend, Derek. Charlton had a good spell for 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, they did. The thing you notice with Watford, though, the tempo's got to be better. You know, even though Charlton started well last week, Watford were attacking as well. Watford created chances as well early on.
It's Turger with a free kick then for the Hornets, which he's placed 4 or 5 yards in from that right-hand touchline. It's going to be a left-footed in-swinger like O'Hara towards Angela with a header just over the bar. He got there first, Gabriel Angelo, and the header was only a foot too high. Yeah,
he's done ever so well there, Angela. He's just made the run across the Blackpool, like you're taught. He's gone across the Blackpool defender and he's attacked the ball. Unlucky. Good delivery as well from Turger. They got success from that last week, Watford, with good deliveries in from Turger. Another good delivery, and Angela wanted that to be his ball. Unfortunately, it went over.
0-0 with just under 7 minutes played. You're listening to Three Counties Sports on BBC Three Counties Radio and around the world on Hornets Player via watfordfc.com. Here's David Perkins, the former Barnsley man, finds O'Hara on this right-hand side. He'll want to cut back in onto that left foot every time and swings it cross-field, looking to knock it over the back of Paredes. He's done so. Paredes did well to get back, but Gomez only smothers it, and it's blasted into the net by Andrea Orlandi. A horrible mess at the back for the Hornets, and Blackpool make them pay. Orlandi, the Spaniard, thumps the ball into the roof of the net, and with a little over 7 minutes played, it's the bottom of the table side who strike first. It's Watford 0, Blackpool 1.
Yeah, and I must say Blackpool deserved that. Their start to the game's been better than Watford's, and we've mentioned O'Hara. He's got a lovely left foot. Paredes has got to look at his positioning there. Paredes' positioning was all wrong. He's got pace, Paredes, and he relies on that. He's let Orlandi get in kind of behind him, and so poor from Paredes defensively, but Blackpool deservedly take the lead.
I think it was Ferguson who might have got him around the back of Paredes, who looked then he got goal side, was smothered by Gomez, couldn't hold it, and Orlandi had time to take a touch and then thump it beyond the stricken keeper into the roof of that, and Watford have it all to do here. We mentioned Banana Skins, and well, an early one that Watford have slipped on. They trail by 1-0 against the league's bottom club. Turger thumps a long ball forward. Deeney battles with Nosworthy. It's the former Watford man who heads it away. Deeney wins the second header, can't find Anya. Turger nods it back, and here's Vidra. Hooks it over his shoulder. Igalo's there. Here's Anya on the edge of the box. Leaves it for Vidra just inside the penalty area. He looks to curl it in towards Deeney. It might come to Igalo on the edge of the area. The ball's bouncing around there. In the end, it's Jamie O'Hara who smuggles it away for Blackpool, and Orlandi with some good feet nicks it away from both Turger and then Vidra. But Vidra working hard, wins it back on the halfway line. Here's Layun, and Paredes touched it off for Craig Cathcart. Now Angela, back inside his own half, moves into the centre circle and hits a diagonal over the back of McMahon, but he's there to guide a header back to Elliot Parish, the former Bristol City goalkeeper, who's preferred to Joe Lewis this afternoon for just his second appearance of the season, in his only one so far. He kept a clean sheet in one of Blackpool's 3 wins of this campaign.
Yeah, well, they've started well, considering they're bottom of the league. Blackpool look confidence. Orlandi's playing in the hole behind their front 2 strikers, and he's causing Watford problems. He's getting himself in good positions, and he's causing Watford problems.
Nosworthy clips a long ball forward. Angela heads it away. Here's Turger, but it's taken off his toe by the goal scorer Orlandi. And Ball goes out of play for a Watford throw. Effectively their left-back position. Just up from level with the edge of their own penalty area. Just short of 10 minutes played. Watford 0, Blackpool 1 in Vicarage Road. Angela heads the ball away. Perkins nods it back towards the edge of the Watford box. Terja heads it away this time. Angela finds Paredes, who somewhat awkwardly just volleys it straight up towards the halfway line. Darren O'Day is there. It's all a bit frantic and fractured at the moment for the Hornets. Angela has to head the ball away inside its own penalty area. Here's Cathcart down by the corner flag. His clearance is flicked on by Vidra, and Deeney can turn inside the centre circle, and he looks to set Igalo away out towards this left-hand side. Here is Odion Igalo. Nosworthy's with him. Igalo is round Nosworthy, who holds on to him. He's got Anya in support. He's got Vidra edge of the box. Here is Vidra into the feet of Deeney. Touched it, looking for Vidra again. Here's Vidra, who's put it wide from 6 yards. Great chance for Mattia Vidra. Great link-up play with the three forwards, really. Igalo, Deeney and Vidra. We've just missed the finishing touch, which Vidra couldn't provide.
Yeah, the three forwards for Watford all linking ever so well there. Igalo, great work from him again, showing strength, holding it up. And then the 1-2 between Vidra and Deeney, very good, very quick. And it was hard he was at an angle there, Vidra. It was hard for him to take that chance. He was at the angle, and Parish did close him down well. But good interplay between the three, what we would call centre forwards of Watford.
More promising signs for the Hornets, but they trail here by a goal to nil. Angela thumps a clearance away. Nosworthy's header only finds Igalo. Touched it infield for Deeney, and Deeney works it out first time to this left-hand side, and Anya. Igalo wants it on the penalty spot. Anya attacks Nosworthy, who gets a foot in and diverts it behind for a corner.
Yeah, you know, crowd seem a little bit frustrated there. Anya's done ever so well with a third-man run. Maybe he could have put it in first time. I think that's where the crowd are a little bit frustrated, because Igalo was in the middle, in space.
First Watford corner, though, of the afternoon. Lyon comes across underneath the big screen to deliver right-footed. Everybody back for Blackpool. It's ripped in towards the far post. It's Miller that heads it away, and Perkins is first to it on the edge of the box to volley it up to the halfway line. Tommy Homan is last man back for the Hornets. He clips the ball out towards the right-hand touchline, and Deeney. O'Day is there to nod it into touch for a Watford throw. Level with the edge of the penalty area, right-hand side. In the FA Cup, early goals at St Mary's. Southampton 1, Crystal Palace 1. The Saints did take the lead, but Palace have equalised. Here's Igalo in the box. He went down. O'Day headed it away and actually bounces through to Parish in the Blackpool goal. Elsewhere on Three Counties Sport, Shrewsbury 0, Stevenage 1 in League 2, 95.5 FM. As always, the commentary from Greenhouse Meadow this afternoon. Same scoreline here. Watford 0, Blackpool 1 at Vicarage Road. Paredes with a throw for Watford. Deeney pointing to where he wants it, and he's got it. He's a good spot from Paredes. Deeney held up by Clark, but he's out by the corner flag on the right-hand side, trying to evade Peter Clark. Did just enough, and O'Day covering back round. He's able to turn away from the Watford captain, clip it up towards the halfway line. Miller chests it down for Orlandi. A couple of touches and then finds Perkins. Then on the half volley, just lobs the ball into the Watford half, into touch for a Watford throw, which Cathcart takes quickly. And Watford start again with Angela, and Terja quickly closed down there by Andrea Orlandi. And yeah, Derek, that's a feature of what Blackpool are wanting to do?
What Blackpool need credit for so far today. I'll just
switch off because Hoban sent a long ball into the box. Deeney puts Clark under pressure, and Clark has to turn it behind for Watford's second corner. Sorry, Derek.
Where Blackpool have done well, they matched Watford's system, so they're virtually playing man for man. They're not giving Watford any time or any space at the moment.
Second corner for the Hornets. Vidra thought about taking it. Lyon eventually comes over. He spots the ball in that same corner underneath the big screen in front of the family stand. And then puts it in, which the Parish gets a good fist to. Anya heads it back into the box, but that's straight, well wide of the goal. No yellow shirts in attendance, and goes behind for a Blackpool goal kick.
Yeah, I think what's surprising with Blackpool, their approach to this game, you would have thought they would have put a lot of men behind the ball and sat and asked Watford to break them down. They've matched Watford's system, so basically they're man for man all across the pitch, and then making sure none of the good Watford players have time and space on the ball.
Parish with the clearance that bounces beyond Miller and Angela. It's turned on by Davis, looking for the runner. Ferguson again in behind Paredes. This time Kudorin is there to hook it away into touch for a Blackpool throw. Right in front of the Watford head coach, Slavicia Kanovic, who has his hands thrust into his pockets. He's probably not enjoyed the first 14 and a half minutes here.
Well, it's exactly what you don't want to give the bottom of the table team, is to give them any lifts and conceding a soft goal, because I thought Paredes' positioning was poor. You've now give Blackpool something to hang on to.
Real lift for Lee Clark's side. Terja volleys the ball away. Perkins is in the way though. He bounds to Orlandi. Leon holds him off, and here's Deeney taking the ball down his chest and then turning. And O'Hara holds him up. Deeney's into the Blackpool half. In the end, the ball goes into touch off O'Hara for a Watford throw, 10 yards inside Blackpool territory on the right-hand touchline.
Yeah, Watford haven't got into their free-flowing football yet, and that's down to Blackpool matching them up man for man in the midfield area, not letting Watford's midfield control the game.
Here's Angela, now Terja on the halfway line, quickly closed down by Davis this time, and chested away by Clark. And here's O'Hara, back to Darren O'Day, Irishman, former Celtic man. He clears, it's flicked on by Davis, but here's Angela, finding Cathcart, sidesteps Stephen Davis, and Angela's there again. Orlandi pressing high. Angela finds Paredes, who flicks the ball on down the line, but there's no one there. He has to chase his own ball forward. And O'Day clears, and here's Ferguson, but he can't keep the ball in. Watford have a throw. Which, they're trying to, you can see that, visibly trying to inject some tempo here, Derek. Cathcart taking that throw really quickly, and Lyon now moving the ball out to Terja. There's Anya on the left-hand touchline, but no space at the moment for Watford.
Watford are paying for their slow start to the game. You know, doesn't matter who you're playing, you've got to start at a pace and at a tempo, especially at home, and Watford didn't.
And here's Ferguson, who's goal side of Paredes again. He's crossed towards the far post, it's overhit and goes behind for a goal kick. Midfield area, Derek, Watford normally play with three in the centre. Yep. Today it's only Terja and Lyon. With the way that Lee Clark set his side up, is there an extra man in there for Blackpool?
They're playing with three, what I would call three midfielders, although Orlandi is playing in the hole as well. So it's not so much they got an extra man in there. I think it's more about the tempo, the intensity they've started at.
So good chest down from Igalo, finds Vidra, and Deeney turns the ball, and here's Anya. Anya can run at Nosworthy, looks for Igalo, and Parrish is there inside his 6-yard box, grabbed it just before the Nigerian could poke it home.
Yeah, good set-up play by Troy Deeney. He had his back to goal, chests it, and then he somehow sees Anya's run and puts him away down the left, and this time Anya put it in the first time. Unfortunately, Parrish managed to just get there before Igalo, but good work. They're getting space down this left, Watford.
Managing to isolate Nyron Nosworthy a couple of occasions. But, the goalkeeper showing good anticipation there to grab that cross just in time. Blackpool have a throw meanwhile down this right-hand side, level with the edge of the Watford penalty area. They found O'Hara with it, forced away from goal by Terja, but he works it infield to Perkins, closed down by Deeney and robbed by Troy Deeney. And Watford go forward, and here's Igalo. Has he got the pace to run at Clark? But he might have the trickery. Well, his shot hits Clark, and that takes all the power off it, and it rebounds through to Parrish in the Blackpool goal.
Yeah, just the move just died there. Deeney done it well again. He's released Igalo this time, and great ball by him. Igalo just seemed to stutter on it. He should have maybe done it earlier, took it out his feet and got his shot off earlier than what he did.
That's where they needed Vidra in that situation, wasn't it? The pace of Vidra. Now Deeney's released Igalo again, but he's just offside, just the wrong side of O'Day. And Blackpool will have a free kick, 10 yards short of the halfway line. Southampton back in front in the FA Cup down at St Mary's. They now lead Crystal Palace by 2 goals to 1. Watford 0, Blackpool 1 here at Vicarage Road. The Hornets' 3 home defeats have all come by single goal margins, the last 2 by this scoreline.
Well, there's some encouraging signs there. Blackpool's playing the three at the back. They are playing quite high, and when you've got Vidra's pace on the pitch, there could be opportunities for him to make a third man run and get him behind the high Blackpool defence.
So Hoban heading the ball away. O'Hara's there for Blackpool, heads it back down the line. Hoban has to volley it into touch this time for a Blackpool throw. Almost level with the edge of the Watford penalty area on this right-hand side. Tony McMahon, the Blackpool captain, former Middlesbrough man. There's Davis down by the corner flag, throws it infield to Orlandi, the goal scorer, but McMahon can't keep it in. Turns the ball over for a Watford throw, which Anya thought about taking quickly, but leaves now for Tommy Hoban. Hornets haven't recorded back-to-back home victories since the first 3 games of this 2014-15 campaign. And the first 3 at Vicarage Road, but the last 12 games, it's been the only consistency they found has been inconsistency. No draws, 6 wins and 6 defeats That's not promotion form, is it, Derek Payne?
No, you know, they've got to find a way of keeping the consistency, but the momentum's always important. For me, it's away from home. Like, sometimes I think away from home you've got to take a draw. I think we go to every away ground and we feel we've got to win every game.
Here's Davis hooking the ball forward, looking for Miller. Cathcart's there to nod it back into his own penalty area. And Gomez has to dive on it to prevent the corner and then roll it back out to Craig Cathcart. If Watford could win this afternoon, Derek, then absolutely you might say you definitely take a draw down at Bournemouth on Friday. If they lose here today, they trail Bournemouth by 7 points, so then you perhaps would say they need to go there and win. Yeah,
this is the thing. This is the problem with not having the consistency. It then puts pressure on the next game. You know, but it's early doors here. Yes, Blackpool started well, but I'm sure Watford have got to improve. They're not at their best, but you could see Blackpool are playing a high line, and there's chances to get down the sides of them as well with their three at the back.
20.5 minutes on the clock. Here's Paredes, level with the edge of the penalty right-hand side, finds Vidra down the line. Vidra turns and then looks for Leon. Touches it back for Vidra again. It turns it round the corner for Paredes. Paredes with the cross just too high for Igalo. It's flicked away. It'll come to Anya, left-hand edge of the penalty area. Onto his right foot. Fires a shot away, parried by Parrish. Deeney with the overhead kick. Hooks it high over the crossbar. It hits the 3 of the 138 behind Parrish's crossbar. But another sight of goal there for the Hornets, this time through Akechi Anya.
Yeah, good play by Paredes down the right. Whips in the cross, puts pace on the cross, exactly what you want. And ends up at Anya, and Anya has a good strike on goal. But Blackpool got a lot of men behind the ball then, but that's what Watford have got to do. They've got to keep putting crosses in, keep shooting, keep putting the pressure on this Blackpool rear guard.
But they do continue to trail by a 0-0 here at Vicarage Road. Nice touch from Paredes to evade Davis, and here's Tommy Hoban. And now Daniel Turger, midway inside his own half, pursued by Orlandi, touched it back for Hoban. In the FA Cup, Preston have taken the lead against Sheffield United at Deepda. Preston 1, Sheffield United 0. And at White Hart Lane, it's Tottenham 1, Leicester 0. Here's Layun, held up by Perkins, who turns the ball into touch for a Watford throw. Midway inside the Blackpool half. Palace have equalised again at St Mary's in the FA Cup. Southampton 2, Crystal Palace 2. Layun looking to turn the ball down the line for Anya. But it's overhit and goes behind for a goal kick. Elsewhere on Three County Sport, another couple of goals to tell you about. Shrewsbury have equalised against Stevenage. Shrewsbury 1, Stevenage 1, 95.5 FM for coverage of that game. And elsewhere in League 2 at Wadham Road, 6-3-0 and 11-61 medium wave. Cheltenham have taken the lead against Luton. Cheltenham 1, Luton 0 in the FA Cup. Chelsea, of course, not Watford out in the third round, have taken the lead against League 1, should I say, Bradford City. Chelsea 1, Bradford 0. Watford 0, Blackpool 1 here at Vicarage Road. Midway point of this first half. Here's Stephen Davis, but can't control it, and Paredes should be able to clear. Plays a 1-2 with Layun, and Paredes is over the halfway line. Over the right-hand side, Vidra points to where he wants it. Paredes can't deliver it. O'Day is in the way. We'll get a second chance to clear. He doesn't quite reach halfway. Angela is there. Doesn't quite get to the bounce of the ball, so the ball just spins off his knee high into the sky, and Davis turns it off Cathcart and into touch for a Blackpool throw. Lee Clark this time plays ball.
Yeah, it's just not happening for Watford at the moment. A couple of good attacks where Deeney's released a couple of Watford players on third man runs, but their flow in football hasn't happened yet, and Blackpool deserve credit. They're man-to-man marking them really in the middle of the pitch.
Well, the Blackpool throw was taken 5 yards inside the Watford half. Referee told Ferguson not to. He did exactly that. So the referee has turned the throw over, and Paredes can throw it into the Blackpool half, and he finds Deeney. But O'Hara nicks it off his toe, and O'Day will clear into the Watford half. Ball will bounce into touch for a Watford throw midway inside their own half, which again Angela takes quickly, throws it infield to Hoban. Brings it forward towards the centre circle, finds Vidra, who turns towards goal and evades O'Hara and plays it inside the fullback, but just too early, and it's too straight and goes through to Parrish.
He's done the hard work there, Vidra. He's turned Jamie O'Hara in the middle of the pitch, and he's got space in front of him, and he's trying to hit that killer ball where there was space in front of him. Maybe he should have attacked the space that time.
Long clearance from Parrish towards Davis. Hoban heads it away. It's Ferguson who's first to it, to nod it back infield. Here's Orlandi chesting it down for O'Hara, but Anya is there, although Davis went down under pressure from Hoban, and referee says there was a little shove there from Tommy Hoban, and Blackpool have a free kick. 15 yards outside the Watford penalty area.
It's a good decision by the referee. Davis done a nice little turn. Holborn has fouled him, and it's a good decision by the referee.
Luton have equalised at Cheltenham, should I say. Cheltenham 1, Luton 1, Shrewsbury 2, Stevenage 1. Now at Greenhouse Meadow in the FA Cup, Derby 1, Chesterfield 0. Elsewhere in the Championship, big game at Carrow Road, which some of our eyes will be on. Goal to Brentford, Norwich 0, Brentford 1 at Carrow Road. Watford 0, Blackpool 1 here at Vicarage Road. And Blackpool have a free kick here with a vanishing spray out again in front of Messrs Layoun and Vidra in the Watford wall. O'Hara is there. It's 15 yards outside the penalty area. Moldsworthy's forward for Blackpool. O'Hara's trying to just reorganise the Blackpool men in that penalty area. Here comes O'Hara. It's overhit and sails behind Gomez's goal for a Watford goal kick. And you can see Blackpool's tactics here, because as the ball rebounded out of the Rookery crowd into the penalty area, Stephen Davis punched it away out towards the touchline.
Yeah, they're not going to rush anything. They're taking their time on everything, and this is where Watford do have to dictate the tempo of this game, which they are trying to do. They are trying to do things quick. But Blackpool, you know, they ain't going to rush things. They are trying to slow it down, and the referee, you need a strong referee in that case.
Watford continue to try it. Here's Angela, turning the ball back into his own penalty area. And Gomez, who's got lots of time, and he just works it out to the right-hand edge of his area. And Cathcart, closed down by Miller, so he hits a long ball forward, looking for Igalo. Actually, comes off the top of Clark's head. Looked like a shove there, perhaps, but the referee was happy with it. The ball bounces into touch over on the far side for a Watford throw.
Good. I thought it was a good, honest English challenge. Peter Clark, tough challenge, just won the ball.
Garlow rubbing the back of his head. Might challenge again here as Paredes looks for him. O'Day beats him in the air, flicked on by Ferguson. Angela's first to it though inside his own half. Just leaves it for Paredes. Looks at infield to Layoun, giving him a bit of work to do, and that's put Angela under pressure. Fortunately for Watford, Cathcart and Holborn are back there, and they work it back to Aurelio Gomez.
That's where Blackpool tight on the midfield Watford players, and they just straight on a Watford midfield player and won the ball back. They're not giving Watford any time or space.
Holborn sweeps a long ball forward. Moldsworthy beats Igalo in the air, and O'Hara turns it back to Parrish in the Blackpool penalty area. He can take a touch. He's wearing a silver grey goalkeeping top, black shorts and silver grey socks. Deeney nods the ball on, but there's no one in support for him. He goes back through to Parrish again. Birmingham 0, West Brom 1 in the FA Cup at St Andrews. Watford 0, Blackpool 1 here on Three Counties Sport on BBC Three Counties Radio. And around the world on Hornets Player via watfordfc.com. Andrea Orlandi with the only goal of the game after 8 minutes for the Seasiders. Holborn, she flicks the ball on for Blackpool. Angela is there, and then he's Cathcart into a bit of trouble. He did well enough, and Igalo flicks the ball on. Moldsworthy heads it away from Deeney. Layoun is there though, and Deeney flicks the ball on now for Ikechianya on this left-hand side. McMahon closes him down, but he works it infield to Deeney. Deeney can attack the edge of the area, finds Igalo. Here's Vidra. Vidra back in towards Igalo. Moldsworthy just closes the door in time. Here's Paredes right on edge of the box. Vidra looking to turn it back in towards Paredes. Might still come to him. It's forced out wide by Ferguson. Vidra in support. Still Paredes with a little step over. Now Vidra. Terzier is over there. Midway inside the Blackpool half as Watford have to retreat. But he finds Tommy Holborn, who can advance towards the edge of the area. He'll work it out to his left-hand side, and Anya. Running at McMahon for the first time. On to his right foot, Ikechianya. Will he go for goal? No, he looks for Paredes at the far post. It's good header away from Ferguson. And Parrish is there to prevent the corner.
No, that's good by Watford. They tried. Vidra probably should have took a shot. He tried to walk it in. They were trying to walk it in the net there. Vidra should have shot, but they kept the attack going, Watford.
But now at the other end, a counter from Blackpool. Orlandi on the left-hand side. Curls across in. Angela is there, though, on the edge of the 6-yard box to head it away. And Cathcart and Terzier could complete the clearance. And here's Paredes. Now Terzier has to turn back towards his own penalty area and leave it for Cathcart once again. Finds Terzier. Just turns it on away from O'Hara, and Layoun can work it forward over the halfway line. Finds Deeney. Back to Layoun again. Here's Vidra, but Layoun's ball is overhit. And, well, the crowd being a little harsh on Mattia Vidra there. It was good 10 yards beyond him. And he had to stop his run and then give chase, which he did eventually, and charge the clearance down. But that one wasn't his fault.
No, it wasn't his fault, but maybe I think he could have took up a wider position. He stood still, Vidra there. He could have gone wide and he would have been in.
Here's Davis, held up by Cathcart, and Layoun finds Terzier. Terzier looking to release Anya over the back of McMahon, but Terzier finds touch, and it's just not happening for Watford, and the crowd's getting frustrated, and all the enthusiasm and excitement that we had here last weekend when Watford were a couple of goals to the good by this time, the crowd's lost its goodwill as well.
Yeah, you've got to stay patient with them, but this is credit to Blackpool. Blackpool deserve all the credit. Terzier, Leon run the game last week. They've obviously seen that, and they're not giving them any time or space. Terzier and Leon, they've got to be brave now. They've got to keep getting on the ball and keep trying to play football.
In the FA Cup, Cardiff 1, Reading 0. Cardiff City Stadium, Norwich have equalised in the Championship at Carrow Road. Norwich 1, Brentford 1. Angela tugs Davis to the floor there. Officials didn't see it. Angela brings it away. Finds Igalo, but gave Igalo too much to do and knocked him off his feet almost with the ball. And then, Paredes is dispossessed on the halfway line. Strong challenge from O'Day that leaves Paredes in a heap. The referee initially gave Blackpool the throw. He's now given Watford the throw.
Yeah, that was Darren O'Day. It was done it. Let's put it this way: he's tackled. He knows he's going to win the ball, but he's definitely followed through there. And Paredes has felt that. Not sure like the ref should have really. I think it was. I said a good English challenge earlier. That was a bit over the top from Darren O'Day.
So, Paredes is back on his feet. And Watford starts again. Here's Angelo advancing towards the halfway line. He clips the ball out to this left-hand side, and Anya, who's got 10 yards to run at McMahon. Well, Andy coming back to double up on him. So he works it infield to Terzier. Terzier finds Layoun, 35 yards out onto his right foot. Blasts it into the stand, I'm afraid, into those Blackpool fans. But it was a shooting opportunity, but just not his best effort.
Well, I can see why he's tried that, because Watford have, like, a couple of attacks, tried to walk the ball in the net. There was space for him to have the shot, and he's took the shot on. He's tried something different there, Layoun, and I don't blame him.
Watford 0, Blackpool 1, 31 and a half minutes played at Vicarage Road. The joint second highest scorers in the Championship yet to find the back of the net this afternoon, and they're going to have to do it more than once if they're going to come away with 3 points. They trail by a goal to 0. Good header away from Holbrook, puts Clark under pressure, and he hooks the ball into touch for a Watford throw midway inside the Blackpool half on this left-hand side. Anya wanting to get things going quickly. Throws it infield to Miguel Layoun. Volleys the ball out to the right-hand side, and Paredes. Closed down by Ferguson. But works it into the feet of Igalo, who can turn here, and turn well. And he advances towards the edge of the box. Gets the shot away, and Parrish tips it over the bar. Just for a moment, I didn't think Parrish had seen it. Reacted quite late, but managed to get it over the bar.
Yeah, great work from Igalo. He's held off 2 players there, and he's turned in one kind of movement. Good strike, it was high. Parrish, you expect him to save it, he's tipped it over, but just worked a nice little bit of space for himself there, Igalo, and got a good strong shot off.
Third Watford corner, this time on the far side. Terzier with it, Angelo at the near post. His volley is blocked. Ferguson at the edge of the box heads it away, and Orlandi will help it on. Here's Paredes volleying it back towards the edge of the area. Cathcart can't really control it. Vidra challenges, the ball rebounds out towards the right hand side, but Ferguson is there ahead of Terzier to hook it away into touch for a Watford throw. Good catch from Ruben Martinez. Very good catch from Ruben Martinez. That was one of those on the boundary that worried might go for 6, but managed to adjust his feet, make sure he didn't step over the boundary line.
He's trying to keep the tempo going. He knows Watford just building up a bit of head of steam here and trying to put pressure on the Blackpool rear guard.
Here's Angela back inside his own half. And then with the outside his right boot, looks to release Vidra. He will keep it in on the right hand side by the corner flag. His cross though, and he's overhit and goes behind for a Blackpool goal kick.
Yeah, Vidra's having one of them halves. Some bits good, some bits not so good. Good running behind, getting down the sides of the Blackpool back three, but then the cross wasn't his best. Let's just put it that way. He's
been very chipper this week. Saw him on Thursday up at the training ground, and I said, well, why are you smiling so much? He said, it's been a good week. I said, why is that? He said, Bournemouth lost, Ipswich lost. Now we must win. And players do care. Players do watch results.
Yeah, of course they do. They would have seen them results midweek, and that's why at the moment it'll be hurting them that they ain't playing how they want to play, and that's got to be credit to Blackpool. They're not giving them the time or space.
Zanya finding Terzier. Igalo looking to get in front of Nosworthy, who holds him off and then can work it back to Parrish in the Blackpool penalty area. Clears first time over the halfway line. Angela is there, but he heads it back towards his own goal and puts Cathcart under pressure from Davis. Cathcart's there, and all Paredes can do is hook it into touch for a Blackpool throw. Over on the far side, their left-hand side, 10 yards inside the Watford half. They continue to lead by 8th minute goal to 0 here. Reminder that, sorry, Derek.
Sorry, John. Yeah, that's Blackpool's front two are working hard to press Watford's back three, and then their midfield are pressing Watford's midfield. So that's cancelling Watford out very well so far, Blackpool.
Blackpool have won just one of their last 29 away league games in the Championship. That one was at Wigan in their last away game of last season, which effectively secured the 3 points that kept them in this division after that horrible two-thirds of the campaign that so nearly saw them relegated, having been top of the league after the first half dozen games or so. Igalo wins himself a throw on this left-hand side, and he's urging his teammates to say, come on, someone needs to take it.
Yeah, that's the difference here. They are trying to play at a tempo now, Watford, but the first 5-10 minutes, they started slow, they started sluggish, and they're paying the price for it, and that's why they're chasing the game now.
Igalo with a good header out to this left-hand side, which Anya didn't quite keep in. And just bounced over his foot. The linesman quite rightly puts his flag up, and Blackpool will have a throw. Into the last 10 minutes of this first half then. Watford 0, Blackpool 1. McMahon with it.
I feel the referee's got to do something about the time wasting. It's obvious tactic. Blackpool are taking their time on everything. You need your referee then to make them speed things up.
Turger with the ball forward, flicked on by Igalo, but didn't quite work, didn't quite find Deeney. Turger looks to find Deeney, who's inside the box. Can he control it? Yes, he can. Can he turn and can he find a colleague? Drives it across goal. Clark is there. Rebounds to Vitcher, edge of the box, nods it back into the area. Clark swipes it away ahead of Igalo, and McMahon's got time to thump it over the halfway line.
Yeah, Turger, great spot, and Deeney getting on down the sides of the back three of Blackpool. Good work from Troy Deeney. He held off a challenge and got his shot away.
Now here's Igalo turning, looking for Vidra, but Clark is there. Just intercept before Vidra would have been away inside the penalty area. And Orlandi brings it away for Blackpool, although now Deeney will put O'Day under pressure over on the far side, and he gives it away to Paredes. Paredes just puts his foot on it, and then leaves it for Deeney on the right-hand side. Only Igalo in the box, but he looks for Odion Igalo. It's scuffed away by Clark this time, only as far as Akechi Anu. Lets the ball come to him. And now we'll run at McMahon on this left-hand edge of the penalty area. Perkins doubles up, and Anya goes to ground but keeps hold of the ball and then goes on the outside of Perkins. Can he get the cross away? He can. Flicks off Nosworthy. He's Deeney. Touch it down. Vidra with the shot is blocked. Might come to Deeney. Back to Vidra again, edge of the area. Leaves it for Layoun. Now Paredes right edge of the box. Watford piling the pressure on. His cross is a poor one. The clearance is a poor one, but Blackpool get away with it. And it's cleared eventually up towards the halfway line. And Miller, who keeps the ball in and back wheels it down the line. Here's Andrea Orlandi to run at Angela with 3 forward for Blackpool. Orlandi up to the edge of the penalty area, onto his left foot. His shot hits Tommy Hoban, rebounds away, and Angela is first to it, holds off Orlandi, brings it away for Watford. Plays it into the feet of Igalo on the halfway line, who's bundled over by Peter Clark.
Yeah, I know luck comes into football games. At the moment, I don't like to say this, but everything seems to be dropping to Blackpool players in the box, because there was a couple not good clearances from the Blackpool players, and the ball seemed to land at Blackpool players' feet.
A yellow card for Stephen Davis for kicking the ball away from Watford's free kick. Perhaps a little fortunate that he wasn't penalised the first time he did it. Anyway, he has been now. Watford have a free kick on the halfway line. Turger just turns to his right, and Cathcart back into the centre circle, and Turger again. Watford need a break here. So putting the pressure on, but things just not falling their way. Cathcart hits a diagonal towards the height of Akechi Anya. McMahon inevitably heads it away. Deeney just drops a header infield to Vidra though. Turns back infield and finds Turger edge of the centre circle. Now Vidra again, bit of space ahead of him. He can attack the edge of the box. Looks to play it to the feet of Igalo, but Perkins gets a touch on it. Poor header away from Orlandi, but Layoun can't capitalise. And Stephen Davis holds him off and moves forward and looks to play it. Looks for Miller, who bundles Hoban over, and Watford have a free kick 10 yards outside their own penalty area.
Yeah, Layoun there, that's where Watford have been a bit sloppy. Layoun, he's got an easy ball to control, miscontrols it, and Blackpool get the ball again, and there's been too much of that in this first half, not just from him, but individuals, sloppy mistakes.
Layoun hitting a diagonal now after Deeney, who wins a header against Nosworthy, but Perkins is there ahead of Igalo. And Clark thumps it over the halfway line. Angela will nod it back to Aurelio Gomez. In the FA Cup, Birmingham 0, West Brom 2 at St Andrews, Chelsea 2, Bradford 0 at Stamford Bridge, and quite a first half at St Mary's. It's now Southampton 2, Crystal Palace 3 in the FA Cup. Terja and Anya now find Deeney 10 yards inside the Blackpool half. It's an infield to Vidra, but it's rather telegraphed by O'Hara. Got there ahead of Mattia Vidra and clears up to Davis, but he's forced back into his own half by Hoban, and Deeney nicks it away from him. And here's Terja, finds Lyon, edge of the centre circle, central position, into the feet of Igara, touched it off for Deeney, but Nosworthy spotted it and quickly closed down his former teammate. And Blackpool able to clear only as far as Craig Cathcart, the former Blackpool man, of course, works into the feet of Deeney, who can turn midway inside the Blackpool half, looks for Vidra, but it's overhit and goes through to Parish in the Blackpool goal. 5 minutes left of this first half, Blackpool leading by a goal to nil.
That's where Watford might get some joy. Vidra's one of the forwards dropping in deep, and then Vidra making a third man run, because they are high, they're back three, so that third man run from Vidra could get you goals today.
Parish with a clearance eventually. Angela heads it away. Anya has to sprint to try and keep it in. All he can do is poke it further up the line for a Blackpool throw. 10 yards inside the Watford half. It's right hand side. Well, I say 10 yards. McMahon's taking it somewhat nearer the edge of the penalty area. Gets it back from Orlandi, sweeps it in for Miller, 25 yards out. Holds off Cathcart, is able to turn towards the edge of the box, onto his right foot, Ishmael Miller, and well, he goes for the near post, and Gomez touched it wide. It will be a Blackpool corner. It wasn't going in, but Gomez couldn't be sure.
He's a strong man, Miller, very strong, and he just holds off challenges easily. Likes to go, he's a left footer, but he's gone onto his right twice today and trying the right foot shot, but he's very hard to shrug off the ball, and Miller's using his strength very well.
Second Blackpool corner then, leading by a goal to nil. Jamie O'Hara in front of the southwest corner to deliver the set piece, meticulous with his placement of the ball, and then curls it in left-footed. Igalo meets it at the near post to head it away. McMahon is there, good first touch, takes him down the line. His momentum takes him forward, and he's evaded Anya, and he's into the box. Tony McMahon, he goes to the far post, and it's going to be turned in. Surely it is, yes! Blackpool have a second here. Watford look to the linesman, but it's not given, and Stephen Davis doubles Blackpool's lead. It hit him on the goal line and actually kept it out, but he recovered just in time to get there ahead of Gomez and turn it over the line. And 3 minutes before half-time, how about this for a turn-up for the books? Watford 0, bottom club Blackpool 2.
Well, for a minute there, it looked like the miss of the season from Stephen Davis. He's worked hard for his team in the first half, nearly misses it from a yard out, then he pounces on it. But credit to Tony McMahon, playing that wing-back, very determined run, got to the byline and pulled it back, and Steve Davis made sure he was on the end of it.
Watford 0, bottom club Blackpool 2 at Vicarage Road. All those hopes of back-to-back home wins and closing the gap on the leaders at the moment are just a pipe dream for the Hornets, and it's the bottom club who are dreaming of their first away win of the season. Here's Lyon on the edge of the centre circle, gets a bit fortunate because he gave it away, but he wins it back and now moves into the Blackpool half. Finds Deeney, turns it on. Igalo tries to chest it down, but it's turned back to the goalkeeper again, and Parish will clear up towards the halfway line. Miller is there, but so is Cathcart and Lyon, and here's Terja, but needs some support. Finds Akechi on this left-hand side, forced infield by McMahon, looking to turn away from him. Finds Tommy Hoban on this left-hand side. Actually into the feet of, well, it hit the referee before it could reach Vidra. Vidra, though, has won it back off Clark, and then unfortunately stands on the ball, so he has to turn back and retrieve it, and then leave it for Anya on this left-hand side. Now Vidra again. Watford needs something before half-time. Here's Terja, 35 yards out. Here's cross, but it's headed away by O'Day. Not to good effect. Nosworthy has to head the second ball away from the edge of the box. Terja can't control it. Has to turn it back to Angela on the halfway line. He's now into the Blackpool half. Threads it forward looking for Igalo. Turns it on for Deeney, looking for Igalo again. It's bouncing around the edge of the box. Nosworthy swipes it away. Here's Anya, though. Left-hand edge, running at McMahon. Looks to go on the outside. Can he keep it in? Yes, he can. He can get across away, but Parish grabs it on the edge of the 6-yard box.
Yeah, he's done well, Anya, there. Getting to the byline, determined run, but too close to the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper done well, to be honest. He made that his ball there. Parish come and collected it.
Parish will clear over the halfway line. say Watford need something before half-time. Maybe Watford just need half-time, Derek Payne, to reorganise and come back fighting after the break.
Well, it's ironic, Watford are having their best spell leading up to that second goal. It looked like to me the Blackpool midfield was tiring and Watford were getting a bit more space in the middle of the pitch. And now to concede that goal, well, you're going to have to do it the hard way. From 2-0 down, they've got to do it the hard way. But Watford have got the players that can score goals. They get one, I'm sure Blackpool will rock.
Shrewsbury 2, Stevenage 2 at Greenhouse Meadow. Bradford have a goal back at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 2, Bradford 1 in the FA Cup. Hoban sweeps the ball forward, looking for Igala. Headed away by Clark. Miller keeps it in on this left-hand side. Peter Clark will have fond memories of Vicarage Road. He's played his last game for Huddersfield. Came on late on the last day of last season when Huddersfield won 4-1. It's his Huddersfield swan song. Got a great reception from the travelling Huddersfield fans. And he's enjoying his afternoon here this afternoon as well. His team are 2 goals to the good. We now move into 2 minutes of added time at the end of this first period. Blackpool have a throw, midway inside the Watford half, on this right-hand touchline. McMahon throws it down the line for Miller. Holds off Hoban and Anya. It's back to O'Hara, clips the ball into the box, looking for Davis. It's headed away by Cathcart. Turger's clearance actually spins back towards the edge of the 6-yard box. So he has to head it away, and Layun heads it on. Here's Vidra taking it on his chest and working it forward for Igalo, but he can't find Deeney. Nosworthy intercepts. Anya wins it back and then spins off his toe off into Orlandi. He's tripped by Vidra on the edge of the centre circle, and Blackpool have a free kick. Orlandi stays down. Referee wants a word with Mattia Vidra.
Yeah, a lot of frustration around the ground. You can supporters frustrated, players frustrated, but credit to Blackpool for the way they've gone about it. Their game plan was to stop Watford playing, ruin the rhythm of their football, and it's worked so far.
Blackpool free kick on the edge of the centre circle, which they're in no hurry to take, but why would they be? 2 goals to the good here. Here's McMahon, creator of the second. Finds Ishmael Miller. This right-hand touchline. Hoban holding him off. Has to slide the ball into touch for a Blackpool throw down by the corner flag on this right-hand side. Here's O'Hara. Finds Miller, who's looking to turn inside the penalty area. Gets a shot away, and Gomez smartly down to make the save on the edge of his 6-yard box.
Yeah, Miller uses his strength so well. This time Hoban couldn't do nothing about it. And Miller knows he's got the beating of the Watford players when he's back to goal.
Well, if you didn't hear the half-time whistle, you've probably heard the boos here at Vicarage Road. A frustrating first 45 minutes for the Hornets, a frustrated home crowd. See their side go in at half-time, trailing the league's bottom club without an away win all season by 2 goals to nil. Andrea Orlandi on 8 minutes, firing in after